Hi everyone, this is Nikita and welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to learn how do you file ITR 1. Before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. Now, who needs to file ITR 1? If you are a resident with an income of up to rupees 50 lakhs from any of the following sources, you can file ITR 1. Income from salary, income from one house property, or income from other sources. So if you have all these three income or any of these incomes, you can go ahead and file ITR 1. However, if you have income from more than one house property, or you have capital gains from shares and securities, or income from business or profession, or income from legal gambling, race horses, etc. In such cases, you cannot file ITR 1. So please choose your firm carefully. First, get to know what all income you've earned under which heads. The 5 heads of income tax in India are income from salary, income from house property, income from business and profession, capital gains, and income from other sources. You need to be able to classify your income in any of these 5 heads and accordingly choose your form. Before we get into the video, we all know that now we're going to be using the new income tax portal to file our returns. Of course, there are a few technical glitches due to which it might take some time. However, it's not too bad to start a little early. So if your Form 16s are already in your hand, which I believe they must be because now the due date is over. So you should have your Form 16s by now. If you have your Form 16s, why not just go ahead and start filling up the form and file your return? Trust me, stay with me through the end of the video and you will know that filling up ITR 1 has become extremely easy. Before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It will mean a lot to me. So what are we waiting for? Let's begin. So how do you log into the income tax portal? You can either use your username password if you have it available, or you can log in using a net banking. So any internet banking which is linked to your PAN number, you can use that to log in into the income tax portal. Now, once you've logged into the income tax portal, you will see that it looks a little different, but the functionalities are all the same. So you can explore the portal a little, but in this case, we just need to file ITR 1. So I will say e-file and I will say income tax return, file income tax return. Now, assessment year is a year which follows the financial year. So if you're filing for financial year 2021, which is in this case, I'm going to select assessment year 21-22. So all of you will have to select assessment year 21-22. And then you need to say continue. Now, there are two options, online and offline. Currently, we're going to use the online option. And as you can see, they've also recommended it. Although the site is working a little slow because there are some technical glitches, but hoping that it will start working smoothly very soon. So you're going to say start new filing. Now, once you say start new filing, you're an individual, you're going to select individual and continue. Now, which ITR form? So in this case, we're going to be filing ITR 1 and we're going to say, it tells you ITR 1, who is it applicable to, like we discussed in our intro. So you can read this once and see if it's applicable to you again and then proceed with ITR 1. Now, if you see, they've very nicely given here what are the documents that you're going to need to file your ITR 1 quickly, or it will help you file it faster. Now, in my personal opinion, you should have an Excel sheet ready which shows all the income that you want to disclose, so that while you're filling up this information, it becomes very easy. So for the purpose of that Excel sheet, or if you don't want to make the Excel sheet and want to fill in the data directly, you're going to need some documents. Which are those documents? You're going to need your Form 16. You're going to need your bank statement from 1st April 2020 to 31st March 2021. You're going to need your house rent receipt if HRA is applicable to you. However, if you've submitted HRA declarations to your company and they've already deducted those, then that's okay. Form 16 will give you enough information to fill in your returns. You need to have your investment proofs ready so that you can use it in your computation. Now, it could be possible that you've completely forgotten to submit these investment proofs to your company, and so tax has been deducted at a higher rate. So in this case, what you can do is in your return, you can show the actual investment deductions so that you can get some refund. So it is not necessary that you need to show everything as per Form 16. If there is something that is missed out, you can definitely cover up here. So let's get started. Now, here it asks you for a few questions. You need to answer the questions to proceed further. Are you filing for any of the following reasons? Taxable income is more than the basic exemption limit. Filing of return of income due to fulfilling any one of the criteria. Deposited amount or aggregate amount exceed 1 crore in one or more current accounts during the previous year. Incurred expenditure of an amount of aggregate amount exceeding 2 lakhs for travel to a foreign country for yourself or for any other reason. Incurred expenditure of amount or aggregate of amount exceeding 1 lakh on consumption of electricity during the year. So apart from your income, is there any other reason that you're doing it? So in this case, we're just going to say taxable income is more than the basic exemption limit, and that is why we want to file. So I'm going to say continue. Now they are going to pre-fill the return based on the information that is available with the income tax department. Please note here, one thing that is very important is whatever is your personal information, like your first name, middle name, last name, it cannot be edited. Whatever you've given at the time of filing of PAN, the same will appear here. So if in your PAN there is some mistake, so if you want to get it rectified, you can get it rectified before filing your return. If you go on the right hand corner, you can see your name, and under your name you'll see my profile. If you go to my profile, all the details are available, and if you want to edit your address or your phone number or your email address, you can go to the my profile section and you can edit. It will ask you for an OTP, so you can give the OTP and change your mobile number and email address. So let's go to the form ahead. Nature of employment, so you have to select, are you a central government employee, are you a state government employee, are you a PSU employee, pensioner, others. If you're an employee of a private organization, then you're going to say others, right? Now, if you're filing before the due date, that is within the due date of the income tax return for FY 2021, this year the due date is 30th of September 2021. So you're going to say I'm filing under section 139(1). You just have to select that. Now as you go below, it asks you for a question, are you opting for new income tax regime? Please note that this new income tax regime under section 115 BAC is beneficial in a few cases and it's not beneficial in a few other cases. On a blanket or on a generalized manner, if I had to explain, if you are someone who has losses from house property, who has section 80C deductions, section 80D deductions, and who's also claiming some HRA, if you have all of this, then this new tax regime is not going to be beneficial for you. However, on the other hand, if you do not have any loss from house property and you do not have any of these allowances that you're claiming separately, then in that case, you can opt for the new tax regime. Also, irrespective of what you filed with your employer, so let's say you've told your employer that you want to opt for the old tax regime, but while filing the income tax return, you realize that the new tax regime is more beneficial to you. You can go ahead and change that while filing the new income tax regime. Nothing stops you from doing that. So even if you have chosen the old income tax regime while submitting the details to your employer, you can continue in your return and say that you want to opt for the new income tax regime. So go for whatever is beneficial for you. Here I'm going to say no. Okay. Then it asks you for your bank details. Your bank has to be validated so that you can get your refund correctly and also so that your return can be filed correctly. So if your bank account is not appearing here or it's appearing but it's not validated, then in that case, you're going to have to add a new bank account and get it validated. So you'll have to mention the bank account number, the IFSC code, and accordingly you will have to get it validated. Only then your return can be filed, because at least one account has to be given for the purpose of filing your returns. And if there's a refund, that's why you'll get your refund. Now please note that until and unless you don't say confirm to your personal information, the next tab will not open. Once you've confirmed all your personal information, your bank details, your contact details, your PAN details, Aadhaar details, the gross total income tab will open. Now you need to keep your form 16 ready at this stage. The portal asks you a few questions. If you know the answer of these questions, you can answer them. So for instance, are you eligible to claim exemption in respect of house rent allowance? If you say yes, you can mention the details here so that it can be auto-filled for you in the return. However, if you want to fill these details as per your Form 16, I will suggest you can say skip questions and you can directly fill in the respective details in your form. You don't have to fill it in these questions. Now, if you can see, data will be pre-filled on the basis of Form 16 provided by your employer. However, if you feel there is some exemption, say for instance, you feel that HRA exemption has not been given to you, you can select house rent allowance and you can mention the amount. You can find it here, allowance to meet expenditure incurred on house rent, and you can mention it here. If there is anything, any exemption which has been missed out, you can definitely always claim it in your returns. What you cannot claim is reimbursements. You cannot claim tax benefit on reimbursements because that only your employer was eligible to provide or pass on to you. However, exemptions and deductions you can claim in your return even if it is not given in your Form 16. This data will be pre-filled as per your Form 16. If, as you can see, there's also standard deduction which has been mentioned at 50,000. Professional tax, here maybe in this state professional tax has not been paid by the employer or is not eligible, so that's why that's not mentioned. However, if you're in Maharashtra, then your employer would have paid professional tax on your behalf and this will be disclosed here at 2,500 or whatever amount that has been paid. So this detail will be pre-filled from your Form 16. However, if you want to claim any exemption that has been missed out, I'm not talking about deductions here, I'm not talking about ATC, I'm talking about exemptions like LTA, like HRA. If you've missed out those exemptions, you can claim them here. And then you can say save. Now, as you can see, it shows an error. Please enter the amount against nature of exempt allowance. Since it's not applicable, you can just say delete. And you can delete all these allowances because it's not applicable to you. Okay, and I'm going to say save. Now that your gross salary, net salary details have been filled in and income chargeable under the head salaries, this is as per Form 16 or as per your computation, that is if you've claimed any exemption over and above Form 16. So this is the amount that will be chargeable under the head income from salaries. Now, if you want to claim certain interest on your house property loan that you've taken, so in that case, you select from the drop down the nature of the house property. Let's say in this case it's self-occupied and interest payable on borrowed capital. Let's say you're paying an EMI of 50,000 a month. So your interest liabilities against that EMI are more than rupees 2 lakhs. The maximum you can claim is rupees 2 lakhs. Even if you say that you have paid an interest of 3 lakhs in the year, it'll show you an error that the amount cannot exceed rupees 2 lakhs. So accordingly, you need to mention 2 lakhs here if you have paid that much interest on any borrowed capital. So in this case, you can say add, or if you don't want to show anything, you can just say cancel. Then you have income from other sources. Now most of this income will get auto-populated. So for instance, if you have any fixed deposits, now TDS is applicable on those fixed deposits. So whatever interest you've earned will get auto-populated here. However, you still need to show your savings account interest. Please note, this is very important. People forget to show their savings account interest. And now the compliance portal has become very strict. It fetches data from the banks as to how much was the interest. So you need to show your savings account interest. It is mandatory. So do you have any interest income? You're going to say yes, and you can give your interest income. Let's say it is 12,000 rupees. For all the accounts that you hold, you have received this kind of income from your savings account. So you need to mention it here. Then, do you have any income from family pension? If yes, you can mention it here. If there's any interest from income tax refund, so let's say your eligible refund was 3,000, but due to delay in payment, you actually got paid 3,200 for last year's refund. So that 200 becomes your interest from income tax refund, and that can be paid here. You can say yes, and you can say 200 rupees was the interest that you have received. Any other? So is there any other income that you have received that is eligible under income from other sources? You can show it here. And then it asks you an important question: do you have any dividend income? So if you have any dividend income, you can show it here. So suppose you're holding shares, but during the year you haven't sold any shares, so there's no capital gain. However, you have received dividend against those shares. So you can disclose all the dividend income here. You can say yes and you can disclose it. When did you actually receive this income and how much did you receive? Now, as soon as I say continue, because I've filled up these questions, it'll pre-fill or auto-fill the data for me. So in this case, as you can see, there is savings, there's interest from saving account, there's interest from income tax refund. And now it calculates the gross total income. So here your gross total income is appearing. Now there can be some income which is exempt in nature. Okay, now as you can see, what is that exempt income? You have agricultural income up to rupees 5,000, or you have any compensation under a disaster, any amount from central government, state government. You have any amount that is received, your LIC policy got matured and you got some money on maturity of that policy, including the sum allocated by way of bonus on such policy, that is also exempt. If you withdrew any provident fund and that amount got added to your bank account, that is also exempt. But provided those funds are either statutory or recognized funds, that you can show it here. So go through the list and see if any of these are applicable to you. And if yes, you can show those respective incomes here. Please note that this exempt income is only for reporting purposes. So you're just going to be reporting, this won't be added to your tax liability. You will just be reporting as it is. Now, as soon as I say confirm, your next tab opens up, total deductions. Now here you can see there's something that the employer has already submitted, so that will come auto-populated. Apart from that, if there's something, we can claim separately. So if you want, you can fill it here directly. If you want, you can just skip these questions and you can directly get into the schedule. However, these questions will help you understand what kind of deductions you are eligible to claim. So let's say now here, I know that as per Form 16, my amount of investment is only 24,000. However, I have certain deductions that I had forgotten to submit to my employer and I want to claim them here. You can absolutely go ahead and claim them here. So here you can say 50,000, let's say that is your deduction. It will show you a warning that you're claiming more deduction than provided by the employer, but you need not worry. You can just say save. So you can show that higher deduction or you can show the actual amount that your employer has given, whatever suits you. You can show your medical insurance premium under 80D or any preventive health checkup if you've taken up any preventive health checkup for which you've made certain payments. You can show it here. You just have to say edit and fill in the information. If you're entitled to any other claims, you have to select those respective deductions. So for example, if you've donated to PM CARES fund or any other fund, you can directly put it under section 80G and claim deduction for that donation. One important point to note here is section 80TTA. Now as per section 80TTA, to a resident individual, a savings account interest deduction up to rupees 10,000 is eligible. So let's say your savings account interest is whatever income you've shown from saving. Like you remember, we showed 12,000. If I put 12,000 here, it will say that I am not allowed to take 12,000. I am allowed to take only a maximum of up to 10,000 rupees. Now, of course, here it's saying that you have not submitted this deduction to your employer, which is absolutely fine. Why? Because I had not given my savings account interest to my employer as well. So that was not as per Form 16. Remember, in your income tax return, anything that you're claiming which is apart from your Form 16, it will show you this error. But if you have proof that this information is correct and this deduction is eligible to you, you can just go ahead and claim it. You need not worry. Now, as you can see, your two heads are confirmed and now it's asking for your tax paid column. Now, in this case, tax is not eligible because if your income is only up to 5 lakhs, there are some reliefs due to which no tax is payable. In your case, if there is certain tax that is deducted it'll appear here directly. You don't have to do anything. And once it has appeared and you know that it's matching with your Form 16 or with your computation, then you're going to say confirm here. And now it is leading to your final total tax liability. It gives you your total computations, your gross total income, deductions, net total income, computation of tax. Now, because your income is, in this case, income is taxable under 5%, there's a relief under section 87A. So it's within 5 lakhs. That is why this relief is being given, and this relief is also computed directly. Now, the minute I say confirm, it says you are done, click on proceed. As soon as you say proceed, you can preview your return. So once you followed this entire process, your return is now ready to be filed. So you can go ahead, fill the verification details, and you can get it e-verified using Aadhaar OTP or using internet banking. You saw how easy it was to fill up your form. So if your company has filed your Form 16, all the data gets auto-populated in your ITR 1. You need to just confirm the amounts. If there's any additional exemption or deduction that you need to claim, you can go ahead and claim that. And if there's any additional income that you want to disclose, like savings account interest, you can do that. If there's any additional deduction that you want to claim, you can do that. So once you've done all of that, your form is absolutely ready to be submitted. I hope you understood after this video how do you file your ITR 1. If you still have any questions for me, I would be happy to answer them. So please shoot your questions in the comment section down below. Wait. Before we end this video, I just want to give a shout out to my brother and his friends. They've started a new company, the Dot Company, and I'm wearing their t-shirt today. So if you're someone who liked this t-shirt or you want to buy some t-shirts, some amazing t-shirts, I must say, so you can go ahead and check out their website. I'll make sure to drop a link in the description box. It's for men and women both, so please go ahead and check them out. My name is Nikita and I am signing off.